Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Kathya. Thanks for stopping by. Today I have a different card making video for you, which is actually a hand lettered envelope. And I wanted to share this really fun story with you about a feed that popped up onto my Facebook page. And it was a post that was written by a guy by the name of Carl, who apparently works at the BBC. Anyway, he made a plea to everybody that saw the post to kindly drop a birthday card in the mail to a woman that they lovingly refer to as the Bee Lady, and her name is Jean. They call her Jean the Bee Lady. And they thought, okay, well, let's make her birthday really special. She's turning 95 years old. And would you guys mind dropping a card in the post for her? And I thought, oh God, I'd love to participate on that. But I didn't know very much about her. So I decided to look her up on YouTube. And once I plugged in a search for the Bee Lady, England, or the United Kingdom, I found a video of her, and I'll link it down below, but it's so adorable. She is a person who has been dressing like a bee for more than 30 years and starts collecting money and funds and donates the funds to charity. And I thought she's so darling, and I saw this video and I could not wait to share it with you. So anyway, I already have a birthday card made for her, but rather than go ahead and making something for her that I already had, I decided to just jazz up a really cool envelope. So I had all these really great intentions to hand letter and make this envelope look really, really cool. And I had some mistakes along the way, but I figured I would just share the video with you anyway. So because she's nicknamed the Bee Lady, I decided to incorporate a bumblebee on the front of my card. So I stamped using a stamp positioners because I was using a wood block and a wood-mounted bee stamp on the envelope, and I used a stamp positioner and then basically used Versamark ink, stamped it, and then heat embossed it in white powder. And then just so that I can kind of get the placement down, I'm actually using a pencil so that I can hand letter the name on the first line so that I can kind of get all the spacing out. But the ink really caused me a lot of problems. It was an actual homemade ink that I made with water, gouache, and a product called gum arabic, and apparently I just didn't get the ratio down, but I wound up doctoring it up by using different types of like a little bit of acrylic paint mixed in, and then I went over with a white gel pen. So you'll see me do that here. So this is the gouache paint that I used, and I used the white, which is really opaque. And you can learn about, you can search other YouTube videos that actually tell you what the ratio of the gouache to water to gum arabic is if you want to do any hand lettering. And you can actually use a brush for this. You don't have to use a calligraphy pen. But I really struggled with making sure that the nib of my calligraphy pen didn't jump around, and it was doing that. So it was kind of frustrating me, but I gave it a go anyway. And I figured anything that I send in the mail that is hand lettered will show that I'm caring. So caring is sharing, right? Or sharing is caring, I should say. Anyway, I had fun hand lettering this envelope, and I thought I would just show the process with you of how I got to the end result. So while I am actually doing the hand lettering here, I figured I would share with you a little bit about my experience and practice with doing some hand lettering. I have been doing calligraphy for as long as I can remember. However, you know, out of practice, you kind of lose your touch at this sort of talent. So I have a lot to learn, and I've been really kind of devouring Christina Warner's videos on how she hand letters envelopes. And I've just been looking at other envelopes on Pinterest as well so that I can kind of hone in on my craft again. And so a little bit of practice goes a long way when you start to hand letter envelopes. And one of the calligraphy pens that she was using, I forget the name of this type of pen, but you can Google it. And she has it in her videos too, so most of you guys already watch Christina. I was really interested in the calligraphy pen she was using because I like the fact that the pen nib does not sit right in front of you. It actually allows you to let it seat to the left so you can actually see what you're writing. So that's one thing that I really liked about that particular pen, and I think I'm going to probably try some different nibs on it so that I can get a smoother glide when I put the ink to the paper. Now this paper that I'm using is just a cardstock directly from the Michaels store, and it looks black in the video, but it's actually like a charcoal gray. So I felt like the envelope needed to have, or there needed to be a little bit more contrast with the lettering. So I just took out my white gel pen and went over the lines with a gel pen just to kind of make those letters stand out just a little bit more. So you can make them pop right along with that white embossed B that you see there as well too. So I did some of that and retraced some of the letters. And some of the, even the gel pen was going over that ink and just kind of messing everything up. And I had to redo the word lady a couple of times because my spacing was off. Hindsight's always 20/20 when you make cards or envelopes, but I wish I would have slid the Jean the Bee Lady line over to the left a little bit and more centered, and I just didn't do that. So next time I will learn. And if you guys are enjoying watching hand lettering and stuff, because I know a lot of people really like that, let me know in the comments section below, and I would be happy to do some more experimenting and using even different kinds of media and different inks and different paper to show you what I have learned. Because I know a lot of people are interested in that and that sort of thing. So if you're interested, let me know. So I continued to cover over those letters on the second line as well, and then I will also make the downstrokes of the hand lettered BBCs. I'll make those a little bit thicker so that you can so that it flows together a little bit more with the top on the first line as well. Okay, so here's where I had to come in and write the words United Kingdom on the bottom of the envelope because I did not get any feedback from anybody when I sent a post asking, when I replied on Facebook, asking people if I needed to have the words United Kingdom on the envelope. Instead of just the postal code. So I saw a lot of people who had, sent cards to Jean the Bee Lady, and they just had the post code, but they did not have the words United Kingdom. And because I'm mailing mine from the United States, I just wanted to make sure that it got there. So I just really threw on as many words, characters, and letters that I could on the envelope. So I'm hoping it makes it there. I will be sure to let you know if it winds up coming back. But I did leave just a little bit of space up above the bumblebee at the top so that I can add some postage stamps, and I'll probably throw about 3 or 4 on there just to be safe. But it's not too expensive to send an envelope if it's normal weight, but the cardstock that I'm writing this envelope on is basically a little bit more cardstock and a little bit heavier weight. So, and the card that I'm adding there is going to be a little bit weight more as well. So I'm going to actually weigh the whole thing together when it's done and then add the appropriate postage. So I'm just cleaning it up, and then I add a couple of more doodle lines after the words United Kingdom on both sides, just to kind of dress it up a little bit more and make it a little more murky, if you want to say that. Anyway, I was okay with how it turned out. I can look and see that my practice on the word Jean is not slanted to the left like the word the and lady. Those are things that I noticed, so I will definitely be working on that a little bit more. So I sealed up my ink, and I took a heat gun to the words United Kingdom because I did that last, and then I folded the card over and applied some really fine, narrow sticky tape around, just around the edges to seal up the envelope. So I added some really thin, narrow score tape and just put that on the inside flaps where I'm going to adhere the bottom part of the envelope, and secured that, made sure it was nice and snug there. And there you can see the envelope is done. Certainly not my best work, and not super proud of the actual hand lettering, but I always share my work no matter what. So there's my handmade card that I had in my stash that I'm going to send to her as well. Here's a close-up of the card, or the envelope I should say, and a little bit of smidgen of the card behind. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more hand lettering or you're interested in it, please let me know, and I would be happy to share my talents with you as well too. Hope you have a great day. Thanks for stopping by, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Ciao for now.